What's up, world? It's Chris Anthony coming at you live and direct once again. And today I'm talking about the imagination. What is the imagination? Your imagination is the mind's ability to create mental scenes that don't exist and can't be perceived by the five senses. How is this a tool for us to use? And how can it also be used against us? Now, I believe it is two different ways to use the imagination. The first way is the reactive or passive way of using the imagination, and the second way is the proactive way to use the imagination. Now, the first way, the thing that happens is you live from the outside in, and that just means that you are affected by something that happens outside of you, and then you use your imagination to add to that effect. And that's the type of people that kind of blow things out of proportion, and you see something happen outside of yourself, or something that could happen outside of yourself, and then you blow it out of proportion, or you make it bigger than it is, and you add to your limitations or add to your fears by using your imagination. Now, I used to do this a lot, and I still do to a certain degree, and I'll have something that happens as a scenario or a situation, and I'll feel it, I'll see it, and then I'll put my emotions into it, and then I'll use my imagination to start thinking of how this can be even worse. Like, let's say for instance, when I used to have my old job, I would have something that I did wrong the day before, and then all that night I will be thinking about what's going to happen the next day when my boss finds out that I did something wrong, and then my imagination will paint the whole picture and make everything just blow out of proportion, and I would just think about the worst thing that could happen. And then usually what would happen is something similar to that, or something that was way different from what I thought would happen. So that was me reacting to the situation, living from the outside in, and using my imagination passively or in a reactive type of way. Now, the other type of way to use the imagination, I believe, is to actually live from the inside out, to use your imagination proactively. And this is when you picture yourself at the drawing board of your life, and you're using your imagination to tap into your creative force. Now, your creative force is what allows you to see things from different points of view. It's what allows you to transcend certain obstacles and problems, because you're tapping in to your creative force, your creative power, and you're creating something from scratch, something from out of thin air, and you are actually using that to change your life and to head in a certain direction. Now, when you use your imagination this type of way, then what happens is you get tapped into a certain vision that you have for your life, and this is when you get into the whole thing that everybody talks about on The Secret or the Law of Attraction, and they say that you need to visualize these certain things that you want to make happen in your life, and you need to know what you want to have happen in your life, and you use the power of intention to actually bring these things or attract these things to you. And that's exactly what happens. Like, now, there is other things that you have to add on to this, because you just can't do that and that's it. You have to put the law of action into work too, or the law of cause and effect. You have to do all these different things, but you start at the imagination and using your imagination the right type of way by living from the inside out. So you draw up what you want to do in life. You create a vision for yourself. You go into your creative mode and actually think of what you want to do with your life, and you start to live by intent instead of living passively by reaction to what's happening to you. You stop being the victim and you become the creator. So when you start to create things in life, then you start to visualize it. You come up with these different ideas, you write it out, you put it into action, you put it into motion, you navigate through all the different obstacles, and because you're using your creative energy, you can get past any type of obstacle. Now, this is why people get stuck, and they get stuck inside of a rut, is because they don't use that creative force, they don't use their imagination, all they use is knowledge. Now, Albert Einstein, he was a genius. He created all these different things, and he actually said that imagination is better than knowledge, is more important than knowledge, because knowledge is limited by what you know and what you have experienced. But imagination embraces the entire world, and it draws off of what you have yet to know and what you will experience. So it's limitless at the end of the day. If you ever saw the movie Limitless, then that was the movie about a guy who was in a rut. He was stuck, and then he started popping his pill, and he was able to see things from different points of view. Everything just got lit up. He got a better job. He finished writing the book he was trying to write on. He started hanging around people that were way, more important and brought more value into his life because he tapped into his creative force. And when you're only going off of knowledge or drawing off of your experiences or what other people told you how to live or how people trained you or educated you, then you're not tapping into that creative force, and you don't know how to get past certain obstacles, certain problems. It's some point in life where you're forced to use your creative force. You're forced to use your imagination in a way that is coming from the inside out so that you can transcend certain things. Or you'll just stay stuck in the same position, not able to progress because you're only trying to draw off of knowledge and off of the experience. But some things you don't have the knowledge on, and you have to actually create a way out. You have to creatively come up with the solution to certain problems. And you do this by tapping into your imagination, tapping into that imagination world that you have going on inside of you, where you can come up with anything, where anything is possible, instead of being locked down to your knowledge, locked down to your experience, because that is helpful, no doubt. Being knowledgeable about certain things is helpful, but you being able to tap into your imagination is the other side of what you need to actually be a creative force, or be somebody who is moving forward in life and creating a type of life that you want, instead of only living a life that is given to you or only being a victim to your circumstance. So it's two sides of thinking, and that the side of thinking that says you need to live from the inside out is your imagination, using your imagination as a tool instead of letting it be used against you, because a lot of different things that happen in society, they are painting the picture of life for you by using your imagination against you, or using it for something that they want you to do. That's where propaganda comes from. That's where all these commercial ads come from, where they're trying to tap into your psyche and tell you certain things so you can picture certain aspects of yourself doing this or doing that, because they gave you a picture, they gave you imagery and put it into your psyche. Because you don't have a vision for yourself, then you end up being a sheep, or you end up being a victim to what's going on. And that's why you have all these people running around, all these conspiracy theorists saying that they're trying to do this, and they're trying to get you to do this, and they're trying to make you tap into this, and they're trying to make you blind and all this. Well, it's only possible for them or they to do this, or anybody to do this, when you don't have a grip, or you don't tap into your own imagination. You're not tapping into your own creative force. Then other people can use their creative force to sway you, to move you, to get you to do what they want you to do, because you don't have a vision for yourself. You're not anchored through your own imagination, through your own creativity. And when you get that, then you stop being swayed and pushed around by your external circumstances, and you start to live from the inside out, and actually affecting your circumstances by what you have imagined, what you have created, what you want out of life, what you have envisioned for yourself. So this is not a long video. I hope it helped in some type of way, but the imagination is a tool that can be used. Visualization is a tool that can be used in order to get you to accomplish certain goals. If you look into it, look into The Secret, look into the law of attraction, everybody practices it, whether you're an athlete or a speaker or a business owner or whoever, they practice visualizing things and making the outcome happen like they want it to inside of their minds first. So then when you go do it in reality, you already have practiced it in your mind, and you'll have a better outcome because you visualized it first. So it's Chris Anthony, and I'm out. Subscribe, like it, appreciate it.